Hi, welcome to Unicorn Dust Designs. Today I am going to be taking you through some dorm room DIYs. So these are going to be so much fun for you if you're going off to college or if you're a parent doing it with your child. These are going to be easy, fun, and affordable. I am actually going off of a piece of paper or scrapbook paper that I found at Hobby Lobby, and it's a geode print paper. And right when I saw it there, I knew dorm room. Don't know why, but it screamed dorm room. So everything that I'm doing in this video is kind of centered around that paper, which you will see coming up. So grab your craft supplies, grab your snack, make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button, and let's get started on these why do I always have to mess up? And let's get started on these dorm room DIYs.
Here is our first DIY. We will be making coasters. You guessed it. One of my favorite things to make on this channel. You need 4 ceramic tiles. You need your scrapbook paper of your choice. And you need some cork. And I'm going to be using gold acrylic paint. Now I am just using kind of like a chippy brush from Dollar Tree and dabbing the sides of it because you will see your sides once you place your scrapbook paper on top of it. They have rounded edges, so I try not to cover the entire thing with scrapbook paper. After those are all dry, we're going to get some of our Mod Podge. I am using matte, and you are going to use a healthy coat on the piece of tile itself and on the back of your scrapbook paper. I do go into more depth over this in another tutorial, which I will link above, and you can click on that and see it. Make sure you are holding that little piece of paper down because it will run away from you. Now, something I'm trying different is getting this scraper, and I'm scraping halfway down and halfway up. This is going to get all of your excess bubbles out of there because sometimes you might have too much Mod Podge on there and then it'll leave a bubble in your paper. So next step is taking the Mod Podge, healthy amount again, and going on top of your scrapbook paper, making sure to get those edges so we don't have anything lifting up. And then you're going to set those to dry, and you'll know that it's dry because it will become clear and you'll see your paper just as it looked before you applied the Mod Podge. And you're going to repeat that with all 4 of your pieces. Now that they're dry, I'm taking them and I'm putting them on a wood block. Now they would be perfect like this. You could just leave them as is. But I like to be extra, so I'm adding this clear glaze to it, and it's another barrier. And you can see I'm using light, even coats, and I'm trying to make sure that I overlap each coat so I fully cover those tiles. This stuff is very strong, you guys, so set it somewhere that's not humid and that you don't mind the stank. And here they are. See how glossy and glassy they look? I like that look, but if you don't, you could definitely just keep the matte Mod Podge on it and they'll be totally fine. So now we are going to add our cork to the back. This is from the Dollar Tree. It's the self-adhesive, but it does lift. So what I do is put hot glue on the edges of it and then press it down. And you're going to repeat that step for all 4. And that is going to be your first easy peasy lemon squeezy DIY. Okay, that was lame. Sorry. Especially if you're a teen watching this. Okay. Next DIY are these easy paints, which are so much fun to do. I took 2 of the 8x10 canvases. They are not framed, from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using some acrylic paint, some random chalk paint I had, but you could use all acrylic paints. So I am applying the acrylic paint directly to my board. It doesn't matter what kind of brush you guys use. I'm just using a foam brush. Now make sure to get your edges, and then on this particular painting, I leave a gap of white because I'm thinking I'll put the gold in between there. Well, I highly suggest just painting the entire thing instead of leaving that gap of white, because I had to do like 4 coats of the gold to try and get that white to stop showing. So you'll see I kind of do that on the turquoise one, and I'm doing a couple coats of this acrylic purple paint because, as you can see, it came out totally 2 different colors. And then we will be moving on to the gold paint. And I wish I would have attached the picture because I got inspiration for this off of Pinterest. And I was like, I could do that. That looks awesome. If I find the picture, I'll attach it later. So here I am with the gold. I'm using my Dollar Tree brush as usual, and I am just kind of going in all crazy with it. Doesn't matter what you do, all preference. This is pure gold apple barrel paint, and I love it. It is so shiny and so metallic. I highly suggest grabbing it. And there is your gold one. Look at how pretty that looks. See how you could kind of see the white though? I had to go back with more paint and more paint. And then we're going to move on to the turquoise one, and we are going to do the same exact thing. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this. And on this one, you'll see I didn't use much white, but I should have just painted the entire thing. If you have kids going off to college, comment down below and let me know if you're planning on doing these with them or showing them. These are great for teens too. If you have teens that are in the home that want to redo their room or anything, these would be perfect projects to do with them. I hope my teen one day wants to still do things with me. She's only 5. I got a 5 and a 4-year-old. Okay, DIY number 3, this adorable light. Like, I know how simple it looks, but I love it. So I took a flower basket, and then I'm going to take this, I don't know what you call it, you guys. It's a light. You press it, it turns on. And I had so many other ideas for this. That's why there's clothespin out, fishing line, but I did not go there. So I'm going to tape off the actual light part because we don't want to paint that. And I'm just using painter's tape going around. It was fairly simple to get that covered because there is a gap in between the white and then the clear part. And we're just going to fully cover that up, and we're just covering the light section. Everything else we're going to paint because you can see everything else when you attach it to your wire basket. So I am using this metallic gold paint, which I ran out of and I couldn't find. So I bought a different one, and I hope it works. I should have lifted that handle before I started painting. So if you do that. And then now we are painting the wire basket. I just held it because you couldn't see it. And here is the finished product. It's nice. It's sleek. This will look so good over like a desk or even floating above like the headrest, not the headrest, but like at the head of the bed where you can read books at night or whatever. So we are going to take this off. And you guys, I want to prepare you. I do turn this on and don't realize how bright it is. So if you're sensitive to light, do not look. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to attach this without those little hooks moving everywhere. And I decide I am going to glue them in place. And so I just put a little dab of hot glue right there. And then I'm going to stick it to the wire. And as you'll see, it'll stay like standing up. And that's exactly what you want. There we go. And I'm going to do that with the other 2 as well. That's way they're not moving around when you're trying to attach the light to the inside of this basket. I was so impressed with how easy this is. And what's awesome is you can make them any color you want. They don't have to be gold. It could have even stayed black and you could have painted the light black and it would have looked great. So keep that in mind. You could do this any color. These are just inspirations. So now we're going to attach that little light, and I am going to hot glue directly on the wire basket and then stick my round light on there. And it actually sits perfectly on there. I had no problems keeping it together. I do realize though, as I'm hanging it, that there are a lot of gaps where basically the hot glue isn't adhered to like both pieces. So I am going to go in with some hot glue. See, this is where I noticed like, hey girl, you might want to add something to that. So I'm going to take some of the gel the gel super glue from the Dollar Tree and just kind of fill in those gaps just to make sure this doesn't fall apart. And the best thing about this is the bottom part is the only thing attached to your basket, so you can still unscrew it and change the batteries if you need to. So look at how cute. And this is DIY number 4. These are so easy, right? So I am taking 3 of the wood planks from Dollar Tree. I had these sitting around in my basement forever. So applause to me for using stuff. And you guys just start off with doing these backwards, if that makes sense. You'll see what I do. So I'm using gel super glue, and the reason I use the gel super glue versus using hot glue is because the hot glue I felt would go through the panels and then you'd be able to see it on the other side. So I just use the hot glue on the popsicle sticks to keep those panels attached in the back. So as you see, what I meant by like upside down is your back side should be facing you. That way you could just attach those popsicle sticks immediately after putting the hot glue on it. And I have an inch between each, like going down each layer. And then, you guys, I'm so embarrassed I did this. Okay, so this was my painting technique, and I was trying to go with the geode theme. So I was like, dab, 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 dab. And I did that with all the colors. And I'm embarrassed. I couldn't live with myself because this reminded me of like a 90s house. Like, do you remember when everybody started sponge painting? I could not. So then I took painter's tape and I am marking off how high I want to put my screw in. And then I'm trying to find my middle piece, but these are like a weird, I don't know, width. So I just guesstimated, you guys, because like I said, I suck at reading the ruler. So then I'm going to go ahead and put my screws in. Be careful, don't screw your fingers. And I am putting those screws all the way in. So you see, I finished this right here, you guys. I'm so upset with myself that I even thought to paint it like this. Like, doesn't this remind you of something like Al Bundy's wife, Peggy, would have done to their house? Like, ooh, how pretty. Let's put metallic sponge paint all over. Okay, so now I'm putting the knobs on. And at this point, you guys, I really am thinking like, yes, girl, yes, queen, you did it. This looks awesome. And then, like, look, I'm gonna be checking this out. Like, yep. I mean, look at the knobs though. Those are everything. All right, and then I'm like, yeah, check it out. Look at how fabulous this looks. And then I even look at it myself and I'm like, you did an amazing job. Look at that. I'm like, yes, girl, you did it. And then I slept on it and decided I needed to change it. I even told my husband I couldn't live with myself if I kept it like that. So I'm just doing an ombre. I'm doing gold, teal, and then I'm purple. And now Now I'm happy, and now I can show you the outcome. So this is a jewelry hanger. There's our little lamp. Maybe scarf, jewelry, use command strips. We know that dorm rooms do not like nails and stuff. And this came out so cute. Look it. I love this. And you can make this for yourself. Shoot. If you're the mama watching or daddy watching. So here are all of our DIYs, you guys. I had so much fun. These are so simple. I hope that if you're a college student, you have fun making these with your roomie. If you're a mom or a dad wanting to do this with your kids, please DM me on Instagram and show me your creations. I would love to see them. I can't even imagine my kids going to college. It seems like so far-fetched right now, but they grow so fast. It blows my mind. I can't believe my oldest is 5 already. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment down below what else you'd like to see me do next. And please make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.